Hello everyone, welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's Post-Match Pint, the only West Ham United post-match fallout show on the internet. Hopefully the audio issues from the last couple of weeks have been sorted. I've had a little adjustment and hopefully they're sorted out. But we've just went and watched the game against Man United. It was West Ham 1, Manchester United 4. Scott, take us through the starting lineup, mate.
Adrian,
I predict this is going to be a very brief one tonight.
Adrian coming back in goal, Reedy coming in for Collins at the back, so it was Reed, Bonner, Quixote, Antonio right, Quizzel left, Fernandes coming in for Noel in the middle with Obiang, Faguli coming in for Lanzini, Payet, and Fletcher starting up front for Seka.
A couple of absentees there. You didn't travel.
No.
Have we heard anything about that? It's not an injury or nothing, is
He's
it?
been saved for Saturday, isn't it?
Probably, yeah. Well, I say I thought he'd done all right Sunday, when
Listen, look, everyone's watching this knows the result of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Have we put out the right team there today?
I thought we started with a strong team. It was a team that I thought could have gone on to win the game. It was a strong team. It was good to see Fletcher start. It was good to see Faguli start. Didn't work out well for him.
It wasn't that great to see him finish.
But just to see him start and with Payet and Antonio. But they had a strong team out as well. They put out a strong team.
Both sides put a strong
Put
side.
that as a bad day.
Mourinho, that was the worry about me when we got this cup draw. Mourinho loves this cup. He loves it. You know why he loves it? Because it's a personal notch on his CV every time he wins it.
Of course it is.
And he goes with a strong team, and other teams don't so much. Do you know what I mean?
That, it's your first chance to win a trophy, isn't it, in the season?
Yeah.
And the thing, you've got to look at it from his point of view as well. You know, by February, he could have won as many titles, as many cup competitions as Van Gaal and Moyes did since Ferguson's gone. So it's a big thing for him. But
that's the difference, isn't it? When you look at West Ham and when you look at Man United, we made a few changes tonight. They made a couple of changes tonight. But you look at the changes they make. They bring in Rooney, Martial, Carrick.
They bring in quality.
I think like 2 or 3 of the players they brought in cost more than their whole squad.
you know, the young lad that started as well. I can't think of what his name is, but he played well as well, didn't he?
Yeah, Mitchell Ryan.
Yeah.
That's right.
One that ends in Ryan.
Mkhitaryan.
Yeah, that one. He played well.
Well, you didn't have to wait. It was. To be honest with you, the first 2 goals was like a carbon copy of what happened on Saturday.
I was thinking exactly the same thing.
But in reverse.
Yeah.
So it was a lightning start from United. You got to give it to him.
It was a good goal.
Poor
it was well
defending.
worked.
Poor defending.
Antonio not tracking. I thought Adrian could have stayed up a little bit longer. I think he went down too quick.
I don't know. They did work.
Yeah, it was a great
You've got to
finish.
take your hat off to it. It was a good
it
goal.
It was a good goal. It was a well worked goal. To be fair, it was a Man United goal. It's what you
Of course it was. That's what we were saying.
No, but it's what you expect from
I
them
know what you
with the
meant,
quality
Scott.
of players that they've got.
But
You've got
again,
Man United
another one that
old
come in,
sort of,
Mkhitaryan.
Yeah.
He's cost them 40 million or 35 million in the
good
summer.
back heel, good finish. I don't know what Adrian was doing, trying to hack Ibrahimovic at the
He
knee.
could have got a red for that.
He's lucky the referee
Got
didn't
him
see
round
it.
the knee, didn't he? Not
Yeah.
round the knee.
Above the knee, it was
yeah.
above the knee. He's lucky he didn't see it. Again,
You know, as much as I wouldn't have minded seeing Ibrahimovic go off.
Who?
Yeah, as much as I would like to see him go off, but you know, we sit there and have a go at Fellaini when he done it to Tompkins last season. You can't do that. And at the end of the day, it shows why Adrian ain't their number one.
The thing is, as well, they didn't even have him or Pogba tonight as well.
No.
You imagine if them 2 were playing as well.
yeah.
We probably will.
It was. Do you know what? I said it's the worst 10 minutes of football I've seen us play so far this season. I've seen some shit this season from us.
It was awful.
It was like
awful. Couldn't string a
It's
pass.
chasing
together.
shadows.
Pass,
We
you
was.
know.
We was giving the ball away when we did have it.
Obiang in that first 10 minutes reminded me of Rocky when he was chasing the chicken. He couldn't get anywhere near him.
Yeah,
And he got booked early on. He's lucky he didn't see a red tonight.
Yeah.
But it's just when we were on the ball, we just didn't look comfortable on the
to
ball.
be fair to you, after that first 10 minutes, we weathered a storm. It could have been 3 or 4.
Yeah, it could have been easy 2 or 3-0.
Well, they could have gone 2-0 up almost
Straight away.
A minute after they scored. And it goes to show how poor we were. We kicked off. Each time we kicked off, we went all the way back to the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Because there was absolutely nothing The movement was shocking.
It was happening.
I've got to say this
at the beginning.
tonight.
It was happening at the end as well.
The desire wasn't there from any of the players. It looked like, to me, none of them wanted to be there tonight.
It looked like they'd gone on international duty for a friendly. They just didn't want to be there.
I mean, look at when we had the ball, Man United, they were airing us, closing us down
They
quickly.
do that though. I've got to give it.
but
Look, Man United were good tonight.
But I can't understand, why can't we do that? You know, it's 11 players versus 11 players. Whether they're a better team or what, still you put the work rate in, you put a shift in, you shut them down.
But that's the
when they've got
thing.
ball.
When
We
you
don't.
ain't got the same qualities as them, that's how you beat teams like that. You
Yeah, by
harry
pressing
them,
them.
you press them, you make them make mistakes. You get in amongst them. I'm sorry, but we ain't got that in us. We ain't got it in us. You know what I mean? Last season we was a good footballing side, but once again, it just shows you the lack of quality in our squad. Let's be fair. I'm going to be quite blunt now. Payet don't want to be here anymore. He doesn't want to be here. You can tell by the body language of him.
Yeah.
He was sulking today. He probably didn't want to play today.
He give up, didn't he? A lot of times he could have won the ball.
But
he give up.
Do you blame him, right? He has created more chances than any other player in the Premier League.
Yeah,
right? And
but
I've said this before.
That
right?
don't stop you making a tackle.
No, but he's never made a tackle. He's not that type of player to make a tackle. We don't play to his strengths. We don't give him that free roll where we don't want him
Do
to
you know
track
why?
back.
But we ain't got
do you
the
know
players
why?
around him to
Because
do
we've
that.
got the biggest load of shite that I think I've ever seen.
The thing is with the owners, what they've done in the summer, they signed quantity, not
Yeah,
quality.
exactly. They just went out
Them
and thought,
13
we
players
need
they
to get
got,
as many
they
players
could
in
have
as
just
possible.
got 6 quality players.
Yep.
But listen when I say this, and I'll keep on banging on about it time after time after time again. That is the difference. That is why, like, other teams progress and we never progress, because this season just shows it, right? We was discussing this in the pub. You look at their signings, right, in the past few seasons. Carroll was probably the biggest signing they've made, right, in terms of like player stature. Yeah, he's a big signing. He was an England international at the time. He'd just been transferred to Liverpool for 35 million. It looked like he had the world at his feet. And on his day, he's unplayable, right? But you look at since then, right? They've signed Cresswell, yeah, a player from the Championship who, let's be fair, like he's adapted to the Premier League
He
very
took
well.
to the Premier League.
But how many players you see come up from the Championship who don't? Right, so they got lucky with him. £3 million signing. Antonio, £7 million signing. Now, for all Antonio's strengths and qualities, right, he's one of them. He's got nothing, no skill about him. He's got no ball control. He's a battering ram,
Yeah,
right?
he's fast and he just likes to knock it around players and run.
Yeah, and that's fine. He's got no qualities.
No,
has
that's
he?
what I mean.
Do
He's
you know
got
what I
no.
mean?
He couldn't do 2-step overs and take someone on, then drag it back and take another person on.
So he hasn't got the skill that Lanzini and Payet have.
Yeah,
If he had the skill like Payet, it'd be unbelievable.
Of course.
Don't get me wrong. Antonio's a great player, but you're right. He's got no. All he is, he's a worker, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a worker. Yeah,
You say he's not going to take on 2-3 players.
No, but we
with a bit of-
got Payet on the cheap. Yeah, that was a good bit of business by them.
Only
right?
because no one knew of Payet.
No, exactly.
outside
right.
of France, anyway.
Right, got Payet on the cheap, which was a good bit of business. But as you say, there was no one competing for his signature. Right, you got Ogbonna, played for Juventus, wasn't really good enough for Juventus. That's why we got him. Right, they didn't want him. Then you've got people like Obiang, who's a youngster. Czech, who again nobody really knew about him, right? Now you look at all these signings and what they've got lucky in about 2 or 3 transfer windows, right? And they get to this transfer window, and this with the money that's come into the club, right? They've got a chance now to say, right, especially with moving. And I've said this before, right? So I'm not going to bang on about it, but especially with the money that's coming to the club and the move to the new stadium, it's their chance to say, right, this is it. We're going to fucking be ambitious and we're going to go and sign quality.
And
what do?
They should have made a statement.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. If it's making a statement to the fan, but what have they done? They've gone and signed Faguli, Toure on loan, Zaza, and like the thing is, you look at these 2 players and you think to yourself, you know what? It's good business that they took them on loan, but no, fuck that. They're not good enough to be. That's why they're being let go by their clubs. When you look at Gökhan Toure, didn't even get in the Turkey squad for Euros. You know why? Weren't fit enough. Still isn't fit enough today, right? You look at Zaza. Look at him in the Euros. He was fucking shocking. He was shocking, and you think to yourself, yeah, Italy international, but they've got a
They're not a great Italian team.
No, it's not a great Italian
to the
team.
past.
But also, when you look at the Italian strikers, look who he's up against. He's up against Pella, who's at Southampton. You know, they haven't.
He's in the fucking United Arab Emirates.
No. What I'm saying is, in that you look at, you're saying he's an Italian international. Yeah. What strikers have they got?
No, none.
They haven't got the quality.
Fuck
that
me,
they had
even if me and
before.
him was up front, really, he wouldn't get in front of us.
That's what I'm saying. You know, he's not up against anyone, so that's why he's.
Fernandes has had one good game. Then he starts flattening his mouth off about moving to a big club.
Fernandes and players like Fletcher, they're more for the future, aren't they? But they're getting chucked in now. We shouldn't even be using players like Fletcher. We should have a 2 quality or 3 quality strikers battling.
We should be using players like Fletcher, but not the way
in the
we're
League
using
Cup
a player.
and in Europa League.
Yeah, you know, not in the sense of relying on a young kid who's got a handful of games.
Well, Carroll's not fully fit. He'd probably be on the bench for Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Ayew, I don't know what's the matter with him. Sakho's now out for 6 weeks.
Yep.
I think Ayew, they're just resting him.
Sakho, honestly, like, I don't even know what to say about him. It pisses me off with him because people cunt Carroll off.
Hang on, but the thing is that I'm
The only people like Sakho is because he's got 6 or 7 in a row.
But I get but we really need to start looking into the way we train and the way we warm up for a game, because we get far too many muscle injuries.
I mean, it can't because people were saying before it was like Chad relief, but and then they've
It's
moved to
not.
a rush green and it's still happening.
We still
So
warm
some of
up.
it's going on.
We still
this has
warm
been going
up
on for years.
But that's it, right? But we still warm up exactly the same now as we did under Allardyce. And Allardyce exactly the same way we did under whoever was before him, I can't remember. But, you know... Grant, yeah? And the injuries have been there since then. So something's wrong in the training. It's the training.
No, I'll tell you what. Maybe it's the training, but I'll tell you another reason why. Because we've never got enough quality, and that's why people like Ferguson and that were geniuses. They brought in quality to the club, and they rotated it game by game. We flogged the same players game after game after game.
I was watching Football Gold the other day, and it sums Ferguson up perfectly. When he signed Van Persie, he signed him at the right time, and they won the league. You know, he paid 20 million for Van Persie, and they won the league.
Yeah. He knew when
But
to move a player on as well, didn't he?
That's what Ferguson's like. But yeah, I mean, with the training ground thing, I mean, I don't know. That's been going on for years, and
I don't think you can put it down to the training.
I personally think what it is
it's the training
with footballers, maybe they're overworked doing training. Sometimes they're in twice a day.
Yeah, but I'd understand that if every other team in the Premier League's having these problems, but not every single team is. You know, how many teams do you know in the Premier League that get a player back and within 2 games?
Yeah, but maybe we notice it more because it's our club.
Yeah, I'm sure fans of other clubs probably moan
let's
about
be
the same
fair,
thing.
Arsenal have a fucking shitload more injuries than we do.
I don't think they just...
They do. They've just got a good squad to cover it.
They've got
brilliant
to
to
keep
back
players.
They've got
Yeah,
quality to cover
we've
quality.
not.
We ain't.
No.
We get our start. Look at Man United the other day at Old Trafford in the league. We signed 13 players in the summer. Not one of them started.
But like you said, you look at Man United today. Pogba comes out, Rooney comes in.
Yeah, Carrick comes in.
Yeah, you know.
Lingard comes out,
Exactly.
Mkhitaryan comes
Exactly.
in. Who's the left winger?
Martial
comes in.
That's what I'm saying.
Juan Mata.
Juan Mata didn't start, yeah.
But then, you know, that's... Man U are on a different level to where we are.
We have not signed.
they are.
We have
And
not.
that's the thing.
We
Yeah,
have
we'll-
not signed Premier League quality players.
No,
We've
that
signed
is
the
the
biggest
problem.
load of shit. And again, once again, it all comes round to it. They're trying to do things on the fucking cheap, and they're trying to sign these gems all the time. Look, I've got no problem with trying to find a gem every now and then, like a Lanzini or like a Czech Kyoto or something. But you've got to bring in quality to be in amongst it in case it don't work. And that's where they've made the mistake. They haven't brought in any quality. They've just brought in quantity.
With Payet today, right? You see the way he was walking around the pitch, bottling out of tackles, losing the ball, right? There's no leader on that pitch to have a go at him, right? Go back if he was playing 10, 15 years ago under Julian Dix.
Lucas Neal.
Lucas Neal.
Kevin Nolan.
Go back. Imagine Billy Bonds was his captain. Mate, he'd be dragging him off that pitch. And that's what we lack. Because, look, I love Mark Noble, but he's not that sort of player. I think even someone like Kevin Nolan would give it to him, you know? Because he was lazy tonight. I don't care what fan's going to give me stick for saying about Payet, because most of our fans are like, you can't say a bad word against Payet. You got to tell the truth. He was shit tonight, and he looked like he didn't want to be on that pitch. You know, you could sit there and say, yeah, he created chances and that. Listen, that's what he's there to do. But don't bottle out of tackles. Don't not chase back. And at least fucking clap the fans when you come off the pitch who've travelled up there and going to sit on the motorway for 6.5 hours.
I agree with you there, right? But we've said it time and time again with Payet. He ain't gonna make a tackle.
Well,
he ain't gonna
bench him then.
But no, he shouldn't.
Because I'd rather have someone out there who's
going to... where he should be. Stop playing him on the wing, where you're relying on him to track back.
If he's that good, he can play anywhere across there.
Yeah, it's all right playing anywhere across there, right? You don't take... who can I use an example?
Messi?
Look at Real Madrid, right, when they were the top-notch side, when they had Zidane and people like that. You weren't expecting Zidane to make runs back to defence.
Zidane did.
Yeah, but Zidane did, but you didn't expect it. Right?
I'd expect...
Was it a surprise?
He's
done it again.
You expect any player to make tackles. Every football player can make a tackle.
But 11 against 11, Scott. If people are coming forward, you've got to be better.
Payet didn't grow up as a football player, standing out, not making tackles.
He is a creative player, right? We can't keep
so
relying on him.
he don't have to track back.
No, I was not saying he don't have to track back, but we can't keep relying on him to make tackles because he's not that type of player. Time and time again, last season, when we conceded goals, we got caught out because we got doubled up on down one side because Payet doesn't track back.
But then he should be tracking back.
But that's it. But he should. But play him in a position where he don't have to. Play him as the player
but
behind
then the
the
thing
forward.
is, if you're saying play him in a position where he don't have to, there's acres on the pitch for someone else on the other team to exploit.
But then if you're playing him behind the forward, which is where you want your creative player, and he ain't tracking back, then there's a defender sitting there thinking, I can't go forward.
Do you know what I think the problem is personally? I don't think there's enough cover in the middle.
No, there's not. And this is why players like Payet, Lanzini as well, they should be digging their heels in and getting stuck in.
But you're not going to get that with Payet. That's the thing.
Yeah, but then the situation we're in at the minute...
Look at Man United today, right? Herrera and Carrick, held that midfield, right? When the players went forward, Martial and all that went forward, what did they do? They weren't busting the gut to get forward. They were sitting there, playing their position, working side to side. We need two players to do that so that players like Lanzini and Payet ain't got to worry about getting box to box all the time.
We're not that good enough to have players like that just stand around and wait for the ball.
No, it's not so much standing around.
Even last season, Scott, we had a good season last year, and he done the same thing last year. And it was all like, look at the last 10 games of Payet playing last season. He wasn't great in all of them, but he scores one free kick or he makes an assist, and people just forget about you got to do dog work. People sit there and slag Mark Noble off, right? If he gives the ball away, but at least he puts a tackle in.
Of course. Payet gave the ball away far too much today. I'm sure at one point he
but
played
you'll
a
get
blind
some
pass.
fans that just go, yeah, but he made an assist. Some fan even said he made an assist tonight for the goal. How the fuck does that work? It was a shot that come off the goal.
Well, let's talk about the goal anyway. We weathered a storm, and then it all sort of balanced itself out. Then we got a little bit back into the game. We started to play some semi-decent football. And then the goal.
10 passes together.
Yeah, that's semi-decent football. But we got back into the game. As you say, Payet took the ball down. He shot. He was looking dangerous in that position. He shot.
Great run by Creswell to lead Valencia away.
Yeah, great run by Creswell. Bit of space, Payet. He shot. De Gea fumbled it. Who was there to stick it in? Ashley Fletcher.
Great finish. And then you got a youngster who's just scored his first goal for West Ham at Old Trafford, buzzing. All the players go and celebrate. Who jogs off? Don't even go over. You know, just jogged off. That's what I'm saying. He's got an attitude problem. And if, people say you can't bench him because he's that good.
Do you know what I think it is? Honestly, with his attitude, let's be fair, right? He had the chance this summer to go to Real Madrid. Yeah, if we'd have,
but did he though?
Of course he did. After the end of them Euros,
listen,
mate.
Our owners would have took that money. And he would have gone.
Any top team in Europe would have.
I don't
maybe they
didn't
so want to pay.
No, I don't think it was so much that. I was thinking it was the fact that Real Madrid had to offload before they could sign someone.
Yeah, but didn't they have a transferring thing where they couldn't sign players anyway?
They had to let someone go to get someone in.
So he had a chance to go to one of the top team in Europe, right? Now he's probably thinking to himself, he did love West Ham last season.
His head got turned.
What he's got to remember,
that's the problem.
is when he stepped on that world stage for the Euros, everyone noticed him a bit more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Without us, he wouldn't have been at them Euros.
No, and that's why he said he was staying.
Yeah. But it'll soon go, mate.
When you get home, and then you look at last season, and like, as much as we slagged Moses off last season, look at him this season. Victor Moses is different.
Yeah, he's been given a chance, hasn't he?
He's a different class like this year, and you got them players to back him up. And we had people scoring last year. You had obviously Sacco and Carroll
when they were fit.
Yeah, when they was fit and scoring goals.
You know,
Antonio,
goals were coming from everywhere.
Goals were coming from all over the pitch. And then you get to this summer and you've got, let's be fair, the biggest pile of shite I've ever seen.
Thing is,
I don't want to be there.
No, the thing I'm going to say now before I start getting tweets and fucking people slagging me off, look, I love Dimitri Payet. I think he's a great player, but I just want to see my player dig in sometimes. Don't matter how good you are. I want to see people work. Cristiano Ronaldo does it from Madrid. He works back, you know, and he's probably the best player in the world. You know, you want to see it sometimes. I'd love to have Payet as that luxury, but every time I mention Payet as a luxury, I'll get people on YouTube going, "No, he's not a luxury player.
But he is a luxury.
He can't be a luxury player."
And that's the thing. He's a luxury. He's a luxury.
But the thing is, the situation we're in at the minute.
That's the problem.
We can't afford.
The thing is with him, right? Do you know what? I would turn around and say, on tonight's performance, maybe not against Arsenal, but the next game, he should sit out because. But we ain't got the quality.
That's what I mean.
To cover him.
The thing is as well with Payet,
we ain't even got
scares opposition.
Yeah, we can't afford to drop Payet.
We can't afford to drop him because we ain't even got someone semi-decent to put in.
No,
it's not only that because he could play shit for 89 minutes and then bang, we get a free kick or he set one up. So you've always got to have him on the pitch. But all I'm saying is, I just want to see him show a bit more fight.
Well, he come off tonight.
Desire and attack.
He come off tonight.
Yeah, he come off tonight because was it 3-1 down at the time?
Yeah, I would have took him off tonight.
Right, anyway, half time comes. It's looking all right.
Good save from Adrian.
Really save, wasn't it?
And that one as well.
The thing is, the thing is, he had to make so many tonight saves. Like it's hard to remember them all and to talk about them all because they was just bombarding us. But goes in at 1-1, we think it's all right. All we had to do is hold it for 15. That's all we had to do.
Yeah, and then the game was stretch.
Huh? Hold it for 45.
Hold it for 15.
Hold it for 15, and the game will stretch itself out. They'll be looking for a winner. We'll have a chance to break, and that's how we like to play, by breaking, right? What do? 2 minutes in, again, loose pass from Payet, as a matter of fact.
I thought it was Masuaku.
Whoever the fuck it was.
Martial scored that goal. And a stat come up where it says he scored 4 in his last 5.
Yeah.
I just turned around. He's only been there one season.
Do you know
he's got 4 goals already.
I'm sure what was it I read today? Was it him who's got four goals against us with 4 shots on target? See, the thing is, he's a player that Mourinho. He only played tonight because it was League Cup. He's been out of favour, isn't he? Do you know? I'd love a little cheeky little loan bid in. We never get him, but.
If you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah. At least tempt him with look, you can have Pint in the summer. Sweeten it, and then in the summer go. I didn't say name.
Never said that.
Look, it's just from there, mate. The competition was dead.
Yeah.
The game was dead as a contest.
And
we were literally
for us to go when we went 1-0 down. I didn't think we was going to get it back to 1-1. When we got back to 1-1, but when we went 2-1 down, I thought
we ain't going to do that again.
To be fair, after that first 10 minutes, I was sitting there thinking, this is going to be 4 or 5.
The only way we was going to get a goal back was from a free kick or a corner or like a set play or something. We was never going to beat them on the attack.
See, the funny thing is as well, though, we lost 4-1, and then you've got that. Zaza should have got his head to the Lanzini corner. Faguli could have had 2.
But that's the difference.
That's the difference.
That's the difference between Ibrahimovic and Zaza.
Yeah, and look at their
Martial and Faguli.
2 of their goals are tap-ins.
Yeah, but they were well-worked goals.
Oh, totally agree. But where was it? Check the third goal, right?
They were very good tonight, mate.
The third goal. What was Czech doing?
What were any of them doing? Because as soon as that second one went in,
they just switched
you could just see in their faces thinking, that's it now.
We got Arsenal Saturday. Yeah. That's what it was.
No, I don't even think it was that. It was thinking, they was probably thinking it's fucking cold up here. I want to get home. I don't even want to be here. Antonio fucking bottled out.
Antonio was awful. He got found out so many times.
Creswell went off injured as well,
which is a big loss.
Yeah,
that's a massive loss.
Well, we don't know the extent.
We
of
just
it
got to hope they took him off.
I think Antonio just bottled out and he just thought, "Fuck this, let me go and have a shower."
Antonio hasn't been the same player since he got called up for England. We need to.
But he never played for England. So
and that's the thing. But since then.
What you think? Because he got an England tracksuit, he thinks he's better.
No, but he hasn't put the performances.
I think Cresswell's been the same though. I think it's just one of them things, isn't it? Like it's they're probably thinking about getting called up to the next squad. They've been in it once now. You know what I mean? Once or twice, and they're thinking to themselves, "Oh, I've got to perform," and it puts pressure on them.
He's been good at one bad game at Cresswell. I'm
not going to slag Cresswell. I mean, he went on very early today, so but he hasn't been setting the world alight like he did before the England call up. I think it might be a bit of pressure on them and trying to impress too much.
The thing is, there's a lot of pressure on them, isn't there? Because of the position we're in.
It's not that. You look at the next two games, Arsenal and Liverpool. Like anything out of them is a bonus.
Of course it is.
You know what I mean?
We're going to be bottom.
Listen, that point up at Old Trafford on Sunday was a bonus point, right? Because we weren't that good then. We defended a lot better than we defended tonight. Put it that way.
Yeah.
And when you look back at that, we had our best starting defence out tonight.
Do you think maybe because he don't play every week, does he? And I thought he played all right on Sunday. Ginger Pele should have started tonight.
He should have started
instead of he could have played Ogbonna, Collins, and Reed and put Cech in the middle.
To be fair, that's what I would have done.
To be fair as well, apart from that mistake he made on Saturday. When he let him, he kept Ibrahimovic pretty quiet.
That's what I mean. He's that sort of player. He's a rough Welshman, you know what I mean? He gets stuck in.
He loves the battle.
That goal Sunday, he's got caught the wrong side of Zlatan, and he did. It was his fault, but that was it. He made that one mistake, and like you said, we defended a lot better
with him in the side.
That's what I couldn't understand. Like why he didn't play that. Yeah. Collins at the back with Reed and Ogbonna, and then put Cech back in where he plays.
He ain't starting Saturday.
No, of course he ain't. Of course he ain't. Cech is.
Fernandez was too
right. Arsenal's going to be a
wrong position
game, though. They're going to be zipping it about. They're going to be quick.
But the thing is, you say it's a different. That's the thing. They're going to be quick, and we struggle today on the pace of Martial, the pace on the other guy. They're sitting there. The commentators are telling you saying Zlatan ain't going to run beyond players. Because everyone else did. But he didn't need to.
Why though? Because our fastest player, our right wing back, he's not a fucking defender.
But that's it.
Once again. Listen.
I
could sit here moaning all night about
these. Three at the back with the two wingers, right, has worked. Can't knock it. It worked, right? But
when?
That's why we've got the points we've got. Because we changed formation.
4 points.
But that's it. That's why we've got them 4 points. Right?
Well, you can't say that because you only played that formation.
I was looking at his hat.
Why have you got that hat on?
I can't bother to take it off.
He's in the Jay from
Emma and Talk to take it off.
Jay from Emma and Talk fan club.
But Antonio ain't a defender, right? He scores goals playing as the right hand side attacking player, right? So we've got to look to move him back up there. But there's nowhere else. There's no one else to play on the wing.
Do you think we need to change formation?
Yeah.
Do you think we need to go back to something like a 4-4-2?
We ain't got a right back.
What?
We ain't got a right back.
Someone can play fucking right back.
But that's what I'm saying. Look at today. Antonio goes off. Who did we move out on the right? Was it Obiang went out on the right?
Winston Reid can play right back.
Not against Arsenal. I wouldn't do it against Arsenal.
No, we'll still stick with a 3.
Yeah, I'll stick with a 3 against Arsenal. I don't.
3-5-1.
Saying that, it all depends. If Antonio and Creswell are out, we may have to switch to the 4 at the back.
See, it's disappointing because it's another cup competition where we had that little slimmer of hope that we were going to get.
Did we really think we were going to go to Old Trafford and?
Yeah.
I thought we was in with a shout. I didn't think we'd get slapped 4-1. I thought maybe we could take it.
Look, as I said in the preview, I thought we were going to win it on penalties.
Yeah, I thought we could maybe take it extra time penalties, but I didn't think we'd get slapped 4-1. But
we got a spanking, mate.
Of course we did.
We got bent over at their arse smacked.
And to be fair, it could have been worse. It could have been 6.
Yeah, it definitely could have been. And I've seen some of them as well, them sort of fucking results as well. We got bent over, slapped on the arse, and fucking don't fuck with us again.
We had a good idea at United for a few years, so we was due one.
Yeah. The thing is, we were unbeaten.
But do you know what?
Unbeaten there in 4.
We're out of that cup now. or now we've just got to concentrate up until Christmas. These next few league games, like I said, Arsenal on Saturday, Liverpool away. Whatever we get out of them is a bonus.
But then we've got.
Some Hull, Burnley, Leicester. No, Swansea, then Leicester.
Swansea's going to be a tough one.
Listen, we need to
to
start getting some players in the team that can rough it up. Czech needs to go back in the middle. He can rough it up. Noble needs to play. He can rough it up.
The chance to move Czech in the middle was there tonight. You know, you could have put Collins in.
He's very stubborn.
You look over the years when we've struggled, like relegation battles and that. We've always had a fighter in the team. Yeah. Like you look last time we had Scott Parker in there. Yeah. And then you go back and like when we went there in 2003, you had like the Canyos, Sinclairs. Yeah, you know, you had all them sort of players
who were also leaders. Though. Yeah, that's the problem.
That's what we're lacking. And like I said,
Obiang's a fighter. Yeah, he's the one who's same as Czech, same as Collins. Yeah, they're fighters. They're players that will put their body on the line. Yeah, Reedy to some extent. I know
the thing is though, there's not many.
But there's no real.
You look around the Premier League now. There's not really many leaders. I mean, you go back to like Keane, Vieira, Gerrard.
There's no one like that.
There's no one like that no more, and I think that's what the game's missing. I mean, we do need someone out there though that will like what Scott Parker used to do. We need someone like him, someone that used to just pick the team up and grab it by the scruff of the neck,
grab a game by. I mean that West Brom game.
But the other thing with Parker as well is that as much as he done that, you know, he also knew when to calm things down.
Yeah,
and, you know, and that's the thing. Yeah,
when you're struggling, you need your players to step up, and it's not always fairy tales and rainbows like last season. Like we had one, we know we've been supporting West Ham a long time, over fucking 30 years.
Yeah, we have a blinding season.
One good season, 10 bad, 2 relegations, and a cup final, and then repeat. You know what I mean? But.
Funny thing is, we'll probably go and beat Arsenal now on Saturday.
But do you know what?
But the thing is, when you look at the Arsenal game last year, right? First 10 minutes, they walked through us. They went 2-0 up. What did we start doing? Start getting in amongst them, putting our foot in, roughing them up. Carroll up front, battering people.
Well, they're worried about Carroll. I spoke to Robbie yesterday, and they're worried about Carroll. You know, because they're back
semi-fit Carroll, isn't he? He's not.
I'll take a semi-fit Carroll now than what we've got.
Yeah. The thing is as well, you know, it's a London derby, so that adds a bit of spice.
Like I said, it's under the lights, on the telly. Last time we had that was Chelsea at home. You know, we need something. We need to kick up the arse, but then I don't want to go beat Arsenal and then roll over at Anfield. You know, we have to carry on.
Beat Arsenal and then
go to Anfield with confidence.
I mean, if we go to Anfield, we've got to be solid. Because they're
firing.
They're scoring fun at them.
They're firing at the moment.
The only bonus about playing Liverpool now is there's no Coutinho.
Yeah, but they've still got class.
Yeah, but they've got some quality
I'm not saying they haven't, but you know, he was their man at the minute.
Anyway, look, I've got to start cutting this short because I want to go home. Third goal went in. One more point before we start leaving. Yeah, third goal goes in. We still persist with this one up front bollocks. Why?
Then he brings ours on then.
Yeah, and Fletcher went on the wing.
Yeah, and we had nothing up front. That shot he had.
I know.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Dan thought it deflected off a defender and got out.
I'll tell you. I forgot to tell you. Shall I tell you the story about the Chinese man?
Yeah.
Oh, right. You know, when we got the equaliser.
Yeah.
Right. Little Chinese man and his wife were sitting there. He started celebrating. He turned around, they showed the replay of the goal. He thought we was on the attack again. They showed the replay, he scored. He jumped up again. We were 2-1 up. It's quality, wasn't it? Oh, Jesus. I was pissed myself.
The other thing that worried me tonight as well was when Man United broke, they got 6 players, you know, in our last third before we even got 4 defenders.
I still think it'll be different. I think it'll be different on Saturday.
Oh yeah, of course it will.
Yeah.
Like it'll definitely be different.
I think we just put it down to a bad night at the office.
Yeah, but we're having too many of them though. Too many bad nights this season.
Look, at the end of the day, mate, December tomorrow.
Merry Christmas.
Well, no, we're 2 places above the relegation zone.
Yeah, but we're only 7.6 off 6.
A lot of games.
Like
we've got enough games to get ourselves out of it at the minute.
It's
when it's like February, March.
The thing is, in January, I mean, before we go, in January, the owners have got to go out. They've got to get rid of a few players, release them. Players like Toure, get rid of them. Zaza, get rid of them, and then make a statement. Go out and sign someone. Go and spend 20, 30 million.
You say that, right? And you say get rid of these players. Who's there to come in?
No, that's what I'm saying. Replace them.
Yeah, but that's it. The thing is now, the thing with January.
Scott, I will take one. You know, one of them training dummies that you put out on the training ground that you've got like to put in what. Some of them are better than the players we signed in the summer. Honestly, they could have saved themselves about 30 million quid by buying a fucking pack of them.
You said Faguli looks like fucking, what was it? Luis Suarez.
With AIDS.
Fucking, he plays like Louis Walsh.
Look, you get rid of Zaza, Caleri.
Caleri's gone.
Sorry, right? Okay, then and Arbeloa. That's 4 out. Yeah. Try and bring 4 players in January.
Yeah, we will.
Money talks, mate, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
People like QPR done it. You know what I mean?
Go and pick up 5 Championship players that have played their eye out to be in the Premier League, and then 5 Premier League players who couldn't give a shit.
Yeah, but we still need to get a goal scorer who's got goals in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Saka will be back.
Yeah. and I said to someone the other day,
we need
and people
2
started fucking moaning.
Who?
Defoe. People bang on
Scores goals,
about,
mate.
like, oh yeah, he shit on us and that. He didn't shit on us. We all know that. But
They wanted him out the door, mate. They pushed him out that door. Trust me when I say that.
we know that. We know that for a fact. That's why.
That was all lies when it said about
It was only the fact that it was because it was Spurs that the club told him that he had to say that he wanted to leave because they knew the backlash from the owners would have got at the time.
And then they fucking sold Carrick for 2 million
The thing is,
to the same club.
The thing you look at the phone, right, is that Sunderland, they ain't going to want to let him go.
Sunderland are desperate for money. They'll let him go.
Yeah,
Also
they're
desperate
for money,
for
but
points, and he's the one who's going to get him the points.
They'll let him go.
You've got to look at a side, right, who you can offer money to, and they're not going to say no. And
I mean, who is there out there realistically you could go and sign in the Premier League?
That's the thing. It's tough. You're going to pay big money.
You look round, yeah. You said Troy Dean.
Callum Wilson.
You're going to have to throw money at Watford.
25 million.
I mean, to
What you
get
have to pay
Deeney,
that, mate.
I know that.
throw
but-
money at
They
Watford to
turned
get him.
down a £30 million bid for Deeney in the summer.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
So they're not going to sell him for 25 million in January.
To
We'll
be
end
fair,
up signing
I'll tell you
someone
something.
like fucking Naismith on loan.
I'll tell you
from
something.
Norwich
If
or
we
wherever he
could
is.
pay 50, 60 million to sign them 2 strikers, they'll get us out of trouble.
Where's Grant Holt?
Lambert.
Tell you what, Dean Ashton's looking a bit slim.
Yeah.
I reckon he could. Fucking
He looked like he could still play.
Colin Cole's there.
That's the thing with Wilson and Deeney. They've scored goals in the Premier League before. You know, they're scoring goals.
But
in
you're
the Premier
talking
League
a lot
now.
of money for them too,
But,
and they're English as well, so that adds
Listen,
an extra 10 million.
You want
on.
to stay up, you need to pay the money. And
Oh,
then
we
should have done. We should have done that in the summer.
Yeah, of course.
Thing is, and this is where it comes back to it, the summer, right? And comes back to transfer. We looked at a far better fucking prospect in the summer and a far more attractive club in the summer when we just had like a fucking brilliant season, missed out.
Sort of in Europe.
Yeah, by a Champions League by the skin of our teeth. Had Europe, yeah. We looked at far more fucking greater prospect then for people being attracted than in January when you're fucking desperate.
There you go.
you
Hey,
know what I can
come
see?
and take part in the relegation battle.
Yeah.
Carlos Bacca.
No, you know who we'll go and get, right? We'll
Lacazette.
go and get that. Is it a Phobie off of Bournemouth who they signed and he's been a pile of crap? We'll go and sign him for like 15 million and he'll just be a pile of crap.
Oh,
that
I
he
don't
is
know,
now.
Scott. God help us.
All right, we better start wrapping it up. Thank you very much
Sturridge.
for joining us on this week's edition of Post-Match Pint. We'll be back on Saturday, obviously, for the Arsenal game. I've got to make a quick apology. Monday Musings, we've had such a content pile up this week that, honestly, we have not had no time to film it, no time to fucking edit it, nothing like that. So I'm going to try and get it out for tomorrow, but I'm not making any promises because we've done stuff with Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV. Ryan's been on their channel. We've got previews to go up, FIFA stuff, fucking all sorts.
Second part of the social.
Second part of the social, yeah. So there's loads of stuff to go. So there's going to be a lot of content. I'll try and get it up tomorrow. I'll try and get it up tomorrow if I can. Thanks very much again for everyone that does tweet in for that because there's tons of them now. They're coming in thick and fast, mate. I'm really pleased with that show. It's doing really well. So I'm sorry that's had to be the thing that's sort of been put out the window.
Busy week this week.
I've got another month off. I'm all right.
Go and follow us on Twitter at West Ham Fan TV, Facebook.com/West Ham Fan TV, Instagram, Snapchat, all that nonsense. Go and visit our website, our store. It links in the description down below. Tomorrow's the 1st of December. There are Christmas jumpers on sale. I'll put a link to them in the description down below. You might have seen me wearing the Dimmy Christmas one, and we should have a couple more coming up within the next few days of these Christmas jumpers. So keep your eye out for them on our store. And boys, hopefully we'll have a lot more better news to come on Saturday. But
Here's hoping.
Yeah. One thing. Go on. You look like you're say something.
I'm just watching you.
One thing left to say, boys.
Come
on,
on,
you
you
Irons.